Hey there viewers, and it is day 22 of the website design challenge, and we are going to do a concept for a dating app, and I kind of had a twist on it, which is virtual date. I had a lot of fun with this one, and my name is Roy. I'm a web designer, and before we get into the challenge, if you do like the content and you find it useful, please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and let's get into the challenge. Okay viewers, so this challenge, I had a lot of fun with this one, mainly because I tried quite a lot of different things than I usually do, and dating apps, why not have your own taste on it, put your own twist on it. And I think what I liked about this challenge is it's just straight to the point. A dateable dating app, I'm not sure what that meant, not unlike Bumble. So I did have a look at what Bumble is, but not very long, and I think it's more than just dating. So in my head, in terms of strategy, I'm thinking how to make this different than every other dating app, and how can it work with the current times. So more on that later, but straight away I thought, you know what, let's go big and bold, and let's choose Morganite, which is a very tall condensed font. Is very modern, and when you go big bold type, which I've got there at 288 I think it is, when you go big and bold, it has to be, most of the time it has to be a condensed font, especially if you've got a lot of letters, or a sentence that's quite long, and then make it in capital letters. And you can see that this is basically what I'm doing. I've actually slowed this bit down as well in real time, just to show my thinking behind it. It's quite that you do see this on quite some sites, the trend of it, where they want to make a statement. It's very simple. For example, Gap, it kind of reminds me of Gap, how they do their designs, a massive type in the back. And I think they do also rotate their titles. So anyway, back into the speed up version, and just straight away putting the main CTA in the middle, download on the App Store, quick and simple. I thought a dating app shouldn't be so complex to convey. Hopefully it's just trying to show something different than what a user have seen before. Again, might not be easy. Does this go with the goal of the business? Again, a lot of feedback about some of the designs is there's no usable case or use case. It's quite empty, which I definitely agree with on some of them. But for this one, I'm really thinking, okay, who are the regular users for that will use dating apps? That's why I'm really thinking of the age groups, around young, maybe to 30s possibly, those that are comfortable on the phone. So that's why I went straight away with the mobile phone layout, and then the two icons for dating apps. You got the heart icon and then star icon, and I made it even bigger there. And I thought, why don't I put the CTA straight in the middle, just to try something different, because when you have a large type, you can still read it even though it's behind certain objects. So I didn't need to say a dateable dating app. I just put dating app, so it's a lot more clear what it is. You might not even need to say app, you can say dating or something else. So even there, you can still kind of read dating app. So I thought, yeah, this could grab the user's attention. And then here, what I'm trying to do is play with the words, which I think is another fun thing. So straight away, I just put in, let's do a virtual date at 6 p.m. And then for the other person is okay, but this time change your Zoom background. So here I'm just having a play with words, which I think is another important thing. I'm trying to portray an app that lets you date safely, virtually, remotely. I mean, that might be interesting. You don't have to meet up. You can just have a date online, but this is all through video or safely on an app. I thought that that's, you're not committing to too much, you're not risking yourself. So I thought, why not try this? And then again, I'm trying to be bold with colors. I went with a stronger red, a stronger orange, not so light as I've done in the past, like pastel colors. Again, because dating app, for the target audience, you got the young, energetic users, so that's why I tried to go with the young, energetic kind of design. And the picture that stood out to me was the fellow that was jumping in the air, and that kind of looks a bit cheesy, but it's also quite fun. And the girl there who looked quite, with her eyes closed, she looked quite embarrassed but happy. So I already had in my head that these two would make a very good couple to put onto the hero page. I was trying to see what else I could find, if there's someone else that looks quite embarrassed or happy embarrassed kind of look, just so hopefully it'll be memorable to the user, not just your typical smiley face. If it tells a story, one that is quite funny, maybe, again, to the audience, if the audience have a sense of humor, which I hope they do, because they are the young, energetic type, then this will hopefully appeal to them. And the gap audience as well, maybe this appeals to that same market, but I don't know. This is all assumptions. There's not a proper research involved. This is just all on the top of my head, so again, it's just a good starting point, and it's a good exercise just to get it all down within an hour, an actual page designed using the latest trends or using the best design that I can think of. Anyway, again, I'm not saying this is the best design, far from it, but this is just from my training and all these years of designing. But anyway, straight away I put in his picture, and it just, to me, it looked great. The style of it, the look of it, and he's kind of looking at his text like he's really happy that he's got a date at 6 p.m, which is after work. And then here I'm just putting in different females. I'm thinking, yeah, she's looking at him. I think that's nice, because there's a kind of like, are they together? But I still had the other picture in my mind where she looks embarrassed with her eyes closed. So anyway, what I'm doing here, I'm playing with rotation. So what I did with the main heading, I rotated the heading just to give it a bit of movement, because you probably noticed this as well. Doesn't always have to be 90 degrees or 180 degrees. You could have it 10 degrees, which is what I did, so it's still readable. Now I'm playing with colors. Do I want to stick with a dark grey? I think dark grey works, but again, maybe for the energy, the vibrancy, we might want to change the color a bit. So again, here I'm trying the other girl now, where she looks embarrassed and happy. So I thought, this for me is a great story, hopefully. CTA in the middle, you have the heart icon on the guy, the star on the girl, and then you got both chats that hopefully is telling a story if the user bothers to read it in the first place. But I thought the pictures are quite humorous, so and that leads to the CTA in the middle, and I thought, why not, this is fun. So yeah, dating app, it hasn't come to my head yet, but when I put virtual date, it kind of makes sense to call it virtual date. I just kept it very simple, so there's not one where you meet up, just stick to virtual dates. I thought, why not, because how many people are getting used to Zoom now, so I thought this will hit on trend with instead of meetings, you can have a meeting date, for example. So yeah, I'm just placing the positioning of the text, and we're coming up to the real-time version of how I did the color in the big heading, which is basically a mesh gradient, and again, it's not your typical linear gradient, which you can do. I thought, why not try something a bit different? So here I go straight to Google and just type mesh gradients, and it is at the products.is.graphics. So you'll see this. Just pick one that you feel will hit home with your audience, again, it's like when you start designing, you're trying to think of your user and who that user might be. But again, in the real life, you're going to get more direction from your client or whoever you're working with, rather than you just thinking off the top of your head. So here's one mesh gradient, and all I did, I created the outline for the text, and then I duplicated it and then grouped it and then masked and then just placed the gradient inside. Well, hopefully that was clear. But yeah, when you have a big type, you would then create an outline stroke, and then you would duplicate it so you have two, and then you right click and use the top one as a mask, and then you just place the picture or gradient in that mask, and then you'll get that nice effect. So here I'm just playing with different things that I might try with the phone. Can I put a border? But I thought, oh, that looks really strong. You can see that those colors are very strong. Is that too strong? Again, it might suit the audience. I thought, yeah, let me position the guy a bit more like he's facing her as opposed to facing the sky. Well, that might be good if there's a sign up button somewhere on the right, maybe that would make sense. But I'm looking at Bumble again, just a quick glimpse. So here, yeah, I think I did decide to create a sign up button or a download button. So yeah, and again, I hope you do enjoy these challenges. I hope you are trying this out as well. 1 hour, and you won't realize how much how much you don't know. There's just so much to learn, especially the business side and thinking of the user, because you're not designing for yourself unless it's your own startup. You are designing for a target audience, and if your client doesn't know who that is, if the client responds with everyone, then you really have to think the strategy of who you're targeting, because one design is not going to work for children, it's not going to work for elderly. You know, there's different tastes, there's different everything. So try to narrow down the audience, try and narrow down the problem. What problem is this trying to solve? Boredom maybe, and I don't know, entertainment I guess as well, and just meeting people. But this is just thinking too much anyway. So yeah, this is when I changed it from dating app to virtual date. So now this is just with the brand now, and since I'm going with the virtual date, I made the font thicker as well, so that it's semi-bold or bold, which is nice because when you have it bold you can put more color in, and I thought that the reddish one was too strong, so I decided to go with the more paler version, so then the red icon and the orange star stand out. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, let me know how you're getting on, and I'll see you tomorrow.